tables.
Look, if you're gonna build something, you need a good workspace. And the foundation for any good workspace is a work table, or 2 or 3. Years ago, I built these benches right here behind me, and they're great, but they're not very practical. You know, it's 2 feet by 8 feet. It's 1 sheet of ply for the top and bottom. So it made a lot of sense. It was easy to build, very sturdy, but it's not portable. I made it a little bit too high. Long story short, it just lives there. It's my workbench. Right now it's full of stuff. I don't really move it, and it's fine, but I need modular tables. Today I'm building a 3x6 table with castering wheels on it. It locks. I can line them up so I have 2 6-foot tables, which makes for a 12-foot work surface, or I can put them together and have a 6-foot square surface. The first thing I did was just come up with a rough plan. This is a top-down view. My outside diameter here is 6 feet by 3 feet, or 72 by 36. And then I've got this frame inside which supports it, and I've got an 1.5 inch overhang. You can't see the legs here because they're vertical, but basically I have 2 frames, an upper and a lower, so I can have a shelf, and then the top. Really all I needed was 2 sheets of ply. I'm using 1/2 inch in this case. They're 4x8, I trim them down. 2x4x8 studs, 8 of those, and some screws. I'm using number 9x3 construction screws, and then some number 8x2 for the tops. The table itself is very basic and extremely sturdy. So it consists of 4 legs, which are 2x4s, and a box frame that goes around it with screws on both sides for strength, and then a top with an overhang. And I also decided to add just a shelf in the middle and some locking casters I picked up off Amazon. I did have to double up the 2x4 on the bottom so that the castering wheels had something to screw onto. So first things first, I'm just gonna go cut all my wood and get all my pieces even lengths that I need and start getting all my materials together, and then I'll put it together. The first cuts I'm gonna make are my frames. These long pieces right here, which end up going across the bottom and on the inside right there, and then this piece also down there. And I need 4 of them, and they're gonna be 66 inches long.
Not that hard, make them yourself. Build them in your own yard. Trip to Home Depot. Buy some wood, screws, and some paint to do you good.
Now I got all the front and backs done, so I got 4 of those 66. Now I'm gonna do the frame sides and the legs. 33. And actually I've got a note about the legs, but I'll save that for later. Long story short, I'm gonna cut 8 pieces all to 33 inches.
Splinters might hurt.
Last but not least, I need to make 4 wheel doublers. That's for the castering wheels. Otherwise the 2x4 is not wide enough. So I need 4 of these. I had to add 2 more pieces, frame centers. I need to cut 2 of them at 30 inches. And that's gonna be this piece right here, just a center support. So now that most of my lumber is cut, aside from my plywood sheets, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna start building up the frame.
These tables you made will last forever. Won't do you wrong. I have too much workspace. Said no one ever. Said no one ever.
Okay, I got the frames built. Now it's time for the legs. And this is where things got a little bit interesting. Originally, my plans called for legs being 33 inches long. And so that's how I cut them. But then I realized I'm gonna be adding these caster wheels, which are about 5 inches tall. So my final working height is just under 36 inches, right about 35. I've got a sacrificial top that's gonna go on there as well. So just over 35 inches. What I ended up calculating was cutting my legs down about 3¼ inches. Now, a happy accident worked out. These legs that I'm using are my leftover scraps from the pieces that I cut for the 33-inch lengths. So I already had these cut, and that's what I'm using. The legs are super easy. They just mount into this corner right here. I'm gonna put 2 more screws right here and 4 screws right here, and that's it. And the frame will get mounted right about here, and then the casters are gonna go on top.
Said no one ever. Said no one ever. Yeah, building is cool, but you gotta be clever. What to build when you're done, only you can decide. What to build when you're done, only side.
Next up, I'm putting the lower frame on. I've got it mocked up in place, and these are my wheel doubler blocks. I'm using those as spacers, putting this exactly level, and that's gonna set the height for this. And once I've got all my heights set and level, I know that the distances are gonna be correct from the upper frame to the lower frame. So I just need to go drill these, put screws in, and that'll be secure. Then I can start working on installing the caster wheels and then the shelves. The frame is done, all the wheel doublers are on, everything is secured, all the screws are in where they need to be. The only thing now is take it off the table, put it on the floor, put the casters on it, flip it over, put the shelves on, and a few last minute touches. And there it is, the rolling frame is complete. Everything looks good, looks symmetrical, nice and square. One thing I forgot that I have to do is remove this top center support so I can get the bottom shelf in. I gotta do it from the top. There's no way it'll clear in from the bottom. Yeah, let me go cut my plywood and then we'll put the top and the bottom on and move on. The top is cut, it's looking pretty good. I got planned for 1 inch or 1.5 inch overhang all the way around. Now I need to make my bottom cut for the shelf, and I need to cut out the notches for the legs. Okay, good progress. Now I just need to center the top and screw it down. We're almost there. A few screws in the top, a few screws in the bottom. And that's it. 4 screws in the top right now. Add another one in the middle here. Add another one in the middle here. Add one in the middle here. Same thing down below. For the most part, there's your table. Not too bad. Good afternoon's worth of work. Maybe $150 worth of materials, depending on the quality of stuff that you're using. I did buy some polyurethane sealant stain to put on there. Haven't done it yet. Maybe I'll get to it later. But for now, that's how they go together. That's the build. Super simple, super strong. Definitely do it cheaper if you use cheaper plywood or OSB. You go with something like MDF, it's gonna be more money and it's gonna be heavier. So you go buy tables like this, they're $400 or $500, you know, from like Uline or something like that. Not EAA tables, but highly effective, highly modular, very buildable, pretty darn affordable. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one. Fail.
Work tables, not that hard, make them yourself. Build them in your own yard. Trip to Home Depot, buy some wood, screws and some paint to do you good. Splinters might hurt, but they won't last long. These tables you made will last forever, won't do you wrong. I have too much workspace, said no one ever, said no one ever. Yeah, building is cool, but you gotta be clever. What to build when you're done, only you can decide. Work tables, not that hard, make them yourself. Build them in your own yard. Trip to Home Depot, buy some wood, decide what to build when you're done. Only you can decide.